What's up, boys and girls? Welcome back to the Steep Stuff Podcast. I'm your host, James Lariello, bringing you an episode today for the Broken Arrow Skyrace, the one you've all been waiting for. Potentially the most competitive race. We'll see. I don't know. Depends on who shows up, but might be the most competitive race ever assembled on American soil, on the sub-ultra category, that is. This is going to be a preview episode for the Ascent, formerly known as the VK. I still like to call it the VK. So you'll notice in this episode, I mistakenly call it the VK very often. That said, I hope you guys get a lot of value out of this one for your free child fantasy picks. This one meant a lot to be able to kind of preview this one, give some picks, give some educated guesses on who we think is going to perform well, give some shout outs to friends and family of the podcast, and do our thing. I'm joined by a very special co-host, good friend, Mr. Nick Tusa. And yeah, we had a really good time doing this one. So I can't believe it's Broken Arrow week. Hope you guys who are going to the race, racing, have a wonderful time, and those spectating enjoy it just as much. So without further ado, I hope you guys enjoy this one. Broken Arrow Ascent 2025 preview episode with co-host Nick Tusa.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are live.
Nick Tusa, welcome back to the Steep Stuff Podcast. How's it going, man?
Oh man, it's going great. I am so excited for this weekend. Been waiting a long time.
I can't believe it. Dude, this is year two of doing these.
Year two?
Ladies and gentlemen, we're here for the, I almost called it the VK. Here for Broken Arrow weekend. We're going to be previewing the Ascent, the 23K and the 46K. We'll probably break it up into 3 episodes or 3 mini episodes for everyone, but we'll probably start off with the Ascent if that works for you.
Yep, absolutely.
Oh man, dude, I can't believe we're finally here. This went by fast. It's like I feel like
quick.
We just did Sunapee with our boy Tom Hooper, and yeah, I didn't include Tom this time. Shout out to Tom. He's too East Coast for something like this. It's too West Coast.
He's out there though, isn't he?
He is out there.
Yeah, he is. Okay, right on.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I don't know. What are you thinking so far? I mean, I think if all goes to plan, minus Jim Walmsley, I still think this might be one of the most competitive races ever assembled on American soil, the Ascent. It looks to be. When you're looking at rankings from Itcher scores, when you're looking at rankings from UTMB indices, between the men and women's field, it's just bonkers, man. It's bonkers.
Oh yeah, this men's field is like 20 deep of absolute studs.
People that can
do damage. Yeah.
It's funny. I was texting Paul Kirsch and Tom about USATF questions, just because dude, I don't really think outside of, we have maybe 3 Americans that can get in the top 5. That's how loaded it is with international talent coming to this. Yeah. And there's a good possibility we might only get 1 American in the top 3 or top 4, which is fucking crazy. Different style, a different story, I think, on the women. To me, I see on the women more of a clear-cut winner. I think there's someone that stands out to me.
Interesting.
Potentially our reigning 2025 U.S. mountain running champion. That just kind of just gave me the idea that maybe she repeats. I think it's possible. So
I think so too.
We'll see what happens. Yeah, dude, how have you been? How's everything going? You've been racing a bunch. You just got back from Twisted Fork. How was Twisted Fork?
Yeah, Twisted Fork was awesome. It's Finn did a great job. If you guys didn't know, Finn Melanson, a single track, he started up this race called Twisted Fork. I did the 30K over the weekend. Threw down with a bunch of Salt Lake City guys. God, they're crushers, man. They know how to run in the heat. I don't know how to run in the heat, so that definitely hurt me a little bit. But yeah, still was a great day out there, and yeah, great course. Park City's incredible.
Just beautiful, right? Just
Oh,
beautiful
so
backdrop.
good.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, so good. And then what GoPro games the week before, that was really well. I'm sure we'll chat about that. Some people in our list here did GoPro games and did really well, and I expect them to do pretty well here at Broken Arrow. So
Sweet,
yeah,
man. Off to a good start for the season. I love to hear
heck
it. Yeah.
yeah.
And GoPro is crazy. You got to see Joe in action like right
Oh
before.
man, that was I can't wait to talk about that. That
Yeah, yeah.
was something to behold.
Oh man. All right, so for the audience, I'm going to get into some like stats on the Ascent course itself. So it's changed a little bit, man. I've heard, so Jade Bellsberg told me it's the same course from last year. I don't think so. It's slightly changed. And the only reason I say that is it ends kind of on Washishu, and then, excuse me if I butchered the pronunciation of Washishu, but then it kind of looks like it descends a little bit into the finish line, like maybe close to like where that tram is. So there's like almost like a slight descent at the end.
Wow.
So it's not quite a VK. It's actually a little bit more, it's more of a runnable course. So it's 3.61 miles. So a little bit shorter than maybe the 2023 course, but only 2,840 feet of vertical. So it's still about 400-ish feet shy, maybe a little bit less than that shy of an actual true vertical kilometer, which is, I guess that's why they called it the Ascent.
The Ascent,
Yeah, make it a little more true and tried to, yeah, dude, there's actually a section, I'd say it's about between mile 1.25 to about 2 miles. So there's maybe like a little bit less than a half mile section, maybe a little more actually. That's actually descent. Like you're actually going down, just kind of crazy.
That's going to shake things up.
Yeah. It's a weird course, right? Like we've seen this from years past where everybody goes out, hair on fire, super crazy. It's obviously a mass start with everyone. There's no waves on this, but it goes up this like weird ski hill. And I've actually been on the ski hill before. And it depends on like what the type of like what's going on in the year, like and how much traffic is on it. Because sometimes it's kind of stomped out and it's a little more of a wider path. And sometimes there's like plants on it. Like last year, if you watched some of the videos, there's like plants sticking out of it. And it just like looks so weird. So it's like a field and you got to like run up that and then it kind of condenses and squeezes out to a road. And that's where it kind of starts. I guess it's on a road for a little bit and then kind of starts going down after maybe the 1.5 mile section. So yeah, it's a weird course. It's going to favor more of the runner, if you will, like whoever can stay on their feet for the running, less the hiker, I think, in my opinion, like less the, like, I don't know if this, as much as I'm a giant fan of Cam Smith and I do think he's going to make the team, I don't think this actually favors Cam as much. He's more of a rut VK guy where it's all like, yes, you're running. I mean, in order to win that, most of it, you're running most of it, but it's not as steep, if you will. Like the rut VK, if I remember right, it's like 3,600 feet. It's like more than a VK. So I don't know. It's going to be interesting. I think this favors more of your Patricks, your Joes, potentially your Killians, your Christians, your David Sinclairs, those types of guys. And then on the women's side, I think we're going to see probably a potential rematch between Joyce and Anna, in my opinion. I think Anna wants that scalp. I asked Anna on the pod on her post-Centipede interview. I was like, you want that scalp, don't you? And she's like, well, last year Joyce was really fit, but we'll see what happens. So, I don't know.
Love that.
Fun. What about you? Do you see any storylines? Obviously, I think the big one is like Jim not being there this year. That's a bummer,
Jim not being there and Joe Gray, his first time being here. I mean, he's a veteran in the sport, so to see him coming here for the first time is pretty crazy. But he's coming here for the competition. Like we said, this is so deep. This is where he thrives. I saw him 2 weekends ago at GoPro, and the climb at GoPro is about a 35 to almost 40% grade. He did not hike a step. He did not hike a single step. He ran every single bit of it. So like you were just saying, runnable, he's here for it. I mean, I think he's going to do really, really well. I'm mostly excited for him, for sure.
I think so too, man. I mean, Joe, this would be Joe's, oh man, let's say he's the first. if he's the first American, I think this makes him like that's like his 14th national championship, something like that. And I don't even know how many like world championships he's like. I think he's been a world champion 2 or 3 times. I should know that. He's gonna be mad at me for that.
There's gonna be so many. It's hard to
so many. It's hard to count. I think this one would be special. I reached out to him and we talked for a little bit. I was supposed to have him on for a preview, but I think we agreed that we're gonna do something post race to talk a little bit more, just because there's a lot of travel back and forth. He raced Mount Washington last week, the Mount Washington Road Race.
Oh yeah, how'd that go?
He got second to Alex Ricard. Alex got his number. Dude, that's not the first time Alex has had his
again.
Number. Yeah. He got him at Sunapee back in 2023 as well, in the Sunapee Ascent. So yeah, Joe's, I mean, like I said, arguably one of the greatest uphill runners of all time, and for sure the best American uphill runner of all time. Alex Ricard is a Canadian and still very much, I think, in his prime, in his low 30s. So I think he's just, Joe's he's in his 40s a little bit. So I think Joe's going to look the man in the mirror, and he's got something to prove, I think, still again.
Oh yeah.
These young whippersnappers, what's up, man?
Heck yeah. Do you think it seemed like he's led his schedule into this race? Like this is his main kind of objective here?
I think he's peaking for it. I mean, just based off of like, I think he was a little perturbed that Alex actually beat him last week. I think that was a very good little tune-up, because it was against some of the same competition. Like Remy LaRue was there, David Sinclair was there. I mean, and Joe just, like him and Alex had maybe a 5 to 10 second gap on most of those guys. So I think the shape is there. I just think it comes down to, this isn't Mount Washington, right? It's like that. Mount Washington too that race was only a 3. It was not as steep. It was like a 3.6 mile, because it was cut short.
Lower altitude.
Yeah, race with only 2,300 feet of vert, so maybe 600 feet, 500 feet lower of like less vertical. So, and it's on a road, whereas like Broken Arrow is going to be more steep, more technical, more opportunities to make mistakes. Yeah, I don't know. It's going to be interesting. I think a lot of it depends on. I think Joe is peaking, in my opinion. I think he is in the process of peaking for this.
That's awesome.
And then maybe take some downtime and then peak again for Worlds. I see him making the team. I don't see him not making the team. I just don't know how many Americans are going to be in the top 5, in my opinion.
Right.
Not that many. But maybe I'm wrong. What do you think about Killian? What's the deal with Killian there?
Well, I've heard some things in his training. I'm sure people have been also heard about it. He's been doing some pretty crazy stuff. He just PR'd a climb that he does very often in training. So for him to be PRing a climb that is kind of a staple in his training says something. He's very fit. I know he's training for Western, but Killian can do it all. I mean, he had the vertical kilometer record in 2021 or something like that.
Yeah.
And he's good at this stuff. I won't say anything more about my picks yet, but yeah, I have him up there for sure.
Let's talk some of the women. What storylines of what women stood out to you? Like Ali Ostrander, for instance. Like I think she shocked a lot of I just didn't say shock. It's a little bit like much, but like I'd say Ali Ostrander overperformed to what I thought the expectation was at Sunapee, right? She had a great race.
She did great.
Yeah, in the top 10 there. So that kind of, I would put her higher up on the board. Like I think she's got a good shot at making Team USA. A couple other names that I saw in there, Jess Breu had some success last year at the VK, and she's going to be racing both the VK and 46K. Some new names too. Like I like Andy Cornish and Oakley Olson, who are both alums of the pod. Like they're some women, they're going to be shaking it up. I see a lot less international women in the VK as opposed to the men's race. Like I see, obviously Jade Belsberg is a mainstay. Like she's gotten second at this race in 2023. She got top 10 last year. Totally capable of winning it. And then obviously there's the former champion from last year, 2024, Joyce Naru. And Joyce is a powerhouse. I'm kind of curious to see like where Joyce's fitness is at, especially you got to remember Kenyan athlete, so altitude's not a problem.
Yep.
They regularly train at 8,000 feet anyway. That's kind of the high point of this course. So if anything, it's kind of going down in altitude for them. I think there was, how do I say this? Like she didn't really have the best of races specifically in Japan. I think it was what it was. Like I think we had her pegged as the favorite, and Sarah Alonso was able to. She kind of fell back, so didn't have the race that she was supposed to have. And I don't think she had a great race at Great China Wall either. So I don't know.
Both more technical races. I think that she shines on the more runnable stuff, like Broken Arrow is. One thing to note about her is she is undefeated in the U.S. She's never lost in the U.S. She won the 23K last year. She won the VK, and she won at Mammoth. All pretty convincingly, and they're all at altitude. So clearly, altitude, U.S., not an issue for her. But I think the story, like you said, I think it's Anna versus Joyce. And then Allie, just having her back, like she comes back every year. It's so fun seeing her. She's done this so many times, so much experience. And then, like you said, Jess, excited to see her back after taking fifth. Yeah, it's Joyce's. Oh man, she's fun to watch.
Joyce undefeated. That's interesting.
Yeah.
And you know what, dude? David Norris made a really good observation. We were talking about I was there the same day with him at Cirque Brighton, and you raced that race. That's a very technical course. Like arguably the most technical Cirque Series course that there was. Unfortunately, it's not on the circuit this year. But and one of the observations that he made was Patrick and Philemon were, I wouldn't say stupid slow on the technical stuff, but significantly slower on the technical stuff. Granted, Patrick still won the damn race, but still, if there is a weakness, as far as, you got to remember, like Patrick, one of the best in the world, one of the most complete athletes there is probably going into this. Joyce, I would imagine somewhere up there as well, both Kenyan athletes. I think if there is a weakness based off of, I did look a little bit into some of the Strava data, but it's just not technical running. They're not good at technical running. They are substantially better at anything that's going to be fast. So I don't know. I Broken Arrow is not a technical course. I don't know if there's any opportunities to exploit moves on them. If you find the most technical sections and you may try to, that's where you can try to make a move. But good luck with that.
Yep. But you don't have to worry about technicality on the Ascent. At least it's pure power, pure fitness.
Yeah. Yep.
See what you can do. Yep.
All right, so let's get into some questions here. What do you think fitness wise is going to take to win this race, men or women? Like what's the 5K time? What's the 10K time? Like what's the translation there?
10K's got to be might be sub 28. I think it might be sub 28. Okay. Yeah, I think it might be sub 28. I think, and then 5K. I mean, definitely in the 13s. Yeah, for sure. I'd be curious what Joe Gray could run right now, but no, he's just, I feel like he's so good at the ups. I don't know how he is I don't know how his flat speed is, but yeah, now Killian right now, oh my God, Killian could probably I bet he could run a 28, 27 minute 5K or 10K.
I could see that. Yeah.
Christian.
Yeah. Oh, Christian's Slim Reaper, bro. Slim Reaper. What do you think on the women's side? What do you think? I'm curious because I would wonder what Anna. I don't even know what Anna's 5K or 10K PR. I should know that given the fact that she's had so much
sub 15 5K.
Yeah,
definitely sub 15. Yeah, I don't know about 10K, sub 32, 31.
That makes sense.
Hard to say. Yeah.
Do you think? I just this race just I don't think there's going to be any surprises. Like I think the usual suspects.
Yep. 100%.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's going to come out of the woodwork here and surprise us. I think maybe where the surprise and the opportunity to make a superstar is like what Taylor Stack did, for instance, at Sunapee, where you're in that maybe in the podium mix or maybe in the top 5, top 10, where you're going to surprise some people. Now, remember, this is 4 men, 4 women. So this is there's no resume. This is show up, throw down, and the best men and women on the day are going to get their spot to Worlds, which I think is better. It's a knockdown, drag down kind of fight, whereas it all comes down to who's fitter, who wants it more, who's going to be the man or woman on the day to pull this off. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. So I don't know. I think there's opportunities to make superstars. Like I said, it's just gonna come in the back half of the top 10. I just don't see it. Maybe I don't know. There's some people in there like Oakley Olsen. Like I'm so curious to see what Oakley Olsen's able to do on the women's side. Like last year, 2024 national champion. collegiate national title holder, I should say. Had a great race at Cirque Series Snowbird, like has all the potential in the world, like NCAA steepler,
Mhm.
like arguably could have been fitter this year than like Anna was last year coming off a track season. So it's
Wow.
like, how does that factor in? I don't know.
Yeah, so much talent from the trail team. I'm one of them is gonna break through, I think, here
I
this
think so.
weekend.
No, I agree.
Yep.
I agree. All right. You want to do picks?
Let's do picks.
All right.
You want to start? What do we want to start with?
Let's start with the women. Ladies
Start with
first.
the women.
All
Okay.
right.
I'll start down. I'm gonna do five to one, and let me see here. Is that one, two? Okay, yeah, I got my four women, right? Make the U.S. team.
Four women make the U.S.
Correct.
team.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay. So in fifth, I have Rachel Tomacek. She's been here before. I think she's hungry after Sunapee. Maybe didn't have the result that she wanted there. She is very good at climbing, so I expect her to make the U.S. team. I feel like it wouldn't be a U.S. team without her on some team, and she finally gets her last opportunity, and I think she's gonna follow through here. And then fourth, I have Jess Brezo. She took fifth last year. I don't know if she's done a ton of racing this year so far. I didn't look at her ultra sign up, but
Just
she
Chianti. She had a
okay. Oh
good.
yeah,
It was like I can't remember if it was the 50K or the 25K, but she did have a good
25K.
race there,
She's
Chianti.
great.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, she's like I said, she's been here before. Great climber. Still probably she was in the Alps with Jim for so long, and I think she gained so much strength and so much fitness from that. I think it's still carrying over. Third, Allie McLaughlin. She's been here so many times. I just feel like third. I feel like there are two runners that are better than her at the moment. I mean, she's getting older, but I mean, she's like Joe Gray. She's been here for so long. She's been on so many teams. This is absolutely nothing new to her. She was third last year, so I expect her to be third again. Um, and then in second, I have Joyce Naru taking her first loss on American soil, and that's going to be because of Anna. I think Anna's on a different level right now. What we saw a couple weekends ago at Sunapee, it was special. She put on a show, and I expect that to carry on. There's probably not much she needed to do in between now and Broken Arrow, maybe a few sharpening workouts, but if she has that fitness that she had, yeah, I expect her to win this. Again, she's been here before. She took second last year. She's here for redemption. She, like you said, she's gonna get that scalp on Joyce.
She's hungry, dude. I brought it
Yeah.
up. Like I even like I asked her on the pod. I was like, "Yo, you trying to get that dub? Like what's what like?" I basically said it that way. And she was like, there was a very clear and concise answer. Like she wants to win
Yeah.
this race.
Oh,
Um, it's funny, dude. And I'll say that I said this before. I said this again, and you and I have said this behind closed doors. Like I
mhm.
don't think we really know yet, like the potential of Anna Gibson. Like I think Anna Gibson
Yeah.
might be like turn out to be like one of the greatest female mountain runners of all time when it's all said and done. I really do. I just don't
So,
think we've seen. Um, we just have. I think we've only scratched the surface. Is what I'm trying to say. Like I
yep.
think she's going to have an amazing career.
She reminds me of like 2019 Grayson Murphy. Like
Yes. Yeah.
just started winning, and it's just going to continue on from there.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, I agree. I agree. And she's
Hmm.
only got, like I said, only gotten better, only improved, only gotten more stoked. So, yeah,
Yep.
I
And
don't
she's
get.
only 26, 25,
Yeah,
something like that. I think she's at mid 20s. She's young.
she's
Yeah.
got at least a decade
Wow.
left in the
Oh,
sport. So, yeah,
easy.
it's crazy to see like how things are going to unfold, especially given that she's already won her first mountain running title. All right.
But yeah, there's a few names too that I want to mention, just like that have a chance to at being in the top five.
Yeah.
Jade Bellsberg, ninth
Yep.
last year. Cindy Peterson, 12th last year. Andy Cornish, 17th last year. Laura Hamilton, she was 19th. Then you have Ali Ostrander. I don't believe that she's raced this before, but we saw what she did a couple weekends ago. Janelle Lynx, another one. Excited to have her back. Raced her a ton 2023 at Zurich Series, at all the Zurich Series events. She's a heck of an uphiller. Wouldn't be surprised to honestly see her up there too.
Yep.
Laurel Moyer, I believe she's an East Coaster. Oakley Olson, like you mentioned. And then it'll be fun to see. I don't know how she's gonna do because she's pregnant right now, but MK Sullivan, it's super cool that she's going out and she's doing this while she's, I don't know what, 4 months pregnant.
I did
Super
not
cool.
confirm with Danny if she's actually racing. I didn't even ask.
Yeah,
I felt
but
like is she?
She raced the other weekend at race in Reno, and she took second and went on like a half marathon. She did in like on trail in like 1:30 something. So like she's still pretty dang fit. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Shout out to MK
So
Sullivan. Holy
really
shit.
cool.
Okay.
Cool story.
Yeah. No, big fan. Big fan. It was cool getting to like chat with her at the Sunapee thing. Like it's kind of
That
weird.
was so
like,
fun.
you listen to these people on their, I don't know, maybe it's the same for me, but like you listen to these people on
No.
their podcasts and then like you get to like actually meet them. It's like, oh, this is weird.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think all of these names I just have in like different order of like people that I think are going to do pretty well here. I'm going to start. So I went 6 deep, and the only reason is because I have one person. Actually, I have 2 people in there that will not be going to Team USA that are foreigner.
Got it.
Say foreigners. That's not a right way to say
Okay.
it. Are people not Americans. All right. Jesus Christ. It's gonna be a long day. Okay, so I'm gonna start 6th place. I'm gonna go Oakley Olsen. Yeah, I definitely think like, dude, I'm just like very interested to see. She didn't race at Sunapee, and I think if she would have raced at Sunapee, she would have given Rena a run for her money. Rena was she was kind of a standout there. She took 5th place. Like Rena crushed it. She just won the Mount Washington Rotors. Oakley is interesting to me, and the reason I'll say it is because like Steepler, super fit, just made NCAAs, coming off an insane road and track season. I don't know. I just have a feeling that like the fitness is there. She's at she just finished up a block at Grand Lake with the
trail team.
With the trail team. Yeah, I don't know. She's I don't know. I think has a lot of potential. And she's backed it up. Like, dude, she got 8th at the most of last year's most competitive Cirque Series race on the women's side, at least for at Cirque Snowbird. So she can back it up on the trails, and she was the collegiate national title holder for the trails as well at Cirque Snowbird. So I don't know. I just have a weird feeling that it's a different Oakley that has more experience and possibly fitter and can throw down with a bunch of these ladies. So we'll see.
And I think track fitness, for some reason, track fitness really translates well to Ascent and BK races. There's something about it. It really does. If this was maybe the 23K, maybe I wouldn't say that as much, but this type of race, I like that pick.
I do. I think it's like you said, it's something with, and I would say it, I don't know how much about the 23K, but for vertical races and like maybe like an up down like Mountain Classic, the track is a great place to train. Like it is just an amazing place to get super fit. You could build a crazy run economy. You just do really well. So yeah, I don't know. I think that's like the secret weapon that was a secret weapon on my block until I got hurt. Fuck. But yeah, the track does great. It's good stuff. All right, moving on. 5th place, I'm going to go Ali Ostrander. I think Ali did enough to show me that Ali's got more fitness and maybe more upside for this year than I originally thought. I don't know. I don't want to say we counted her out, but like when we did the Sunapee preview, we got kind of mixed information that like she had just done her first track workout, her first workout in several months. So like we weren't really sure where to put her. And then she goes and shows up and takes a top 10 spot at Sunapee, which was insanely, competitive. So yeah, I don't know. I have a funny feeling that Ali's going to do pretty well in this race. I could definitely see her performing to expectations or above her expectations. In 4th place, I'm going to go Jade Belsberg. Jade, top 10 last year. I just had a good chat with her on the pod. Top 10 last year, and I think she got second in 2023. So she's she's been on the podium. She knows how to race these races. Incredible range. She can race these long ultras, and she can race middle distance and the VK. Just like super strong athlete. And she kind of gave me the play-by-play on how she intends to race this race. She said last year coming in, she was a little bit more confident, and the confidence was a problem for her. Like she got a little too overzealous and blew herself up. Remember, the course in 2023 changed to the course in 2024. It was 2 different courses technically. So she kind of blew herself on that. In my opinion, because this is a very similar course, starts off in the same area. Jade knows how to race this. Start off a little bit easier. Don't necessarily blow yourself up. Once it funnels out to the road, you can make your move. And I think that's what she intends to do. So if she has any degree of the similar fitness that she's had in previous years, I see her there in the top 4. In third place, I have same as you. I'm going to go with Allie Mack. Got to witness a couple, I saw Allie Mack absolutely demolish a Stairmaster when I was at the PT a few weeks ago, just before Sunapee, and I was astonished. Obviously, it's a little home cooking because I'm a friend of Allie's. Allie's a friend. Like she's an amazing human, and I want her to do well, and I want her to get on the podium. So, but she also has the ability to do it and has been there before. So I see Allie being a repeat. I think she gets on the podium. I see her going back to Team USA. In second place, I am going to go Joyce Naru. Dude, I see Joyce going anywhere from winning the race to falling in the top 5. I don't know. Like I said, if it's the same Joyce that shows up that was in Japan or China, maybe not. Maybe that was a little bit too early. Like we talked about before, she does train at altitude. She is very good at this race. She is undefeated at this race in both distances. So I do see her getting her first defeat, though. In first place, I'm going to go Anna Gibson. Like we said, I just don't think we've scratched the surface on Anna Gibson yet. I think will go down when it's all said and done as one of the greatest females of all time. And I think she's just getting started, in my opinion. I think we are very early on in her career, and this is just the beginning. So I see Anna, I see Allie making both teams. So Team USA, the top 4 women going to Team USA, going to Confranc, are going to be Anna Gibson, Allie Mack, Allie Ostrander, and Oakley Olsen. That's my pick.
I like it.
Women to watch out for. First and foremost, Andy Cornish. Andy is a beast. She lives in the Tetons in Jackson, Wyoming. Very solid uphill athlete. Very focused on this race. This is an A race for her, so I could see her doing very well. Janelle Lynx is someone I wrote down as well. Sydney Peterson. Sydney most recently had an amazing top 10 finish at Sunapee. Wouldn't be surprised. I see her easily as a top 10 in this race. Wouldn't be surprised to see her make the team. Can't leave out Jess Breu. Lara Hamilton, Australian athlete, very good in the VK, very talented. Had a extremely good result at both at Worlds when she raced for Team Australia back in, where it would have been 2023 now, and last year, 2024, she had a good result racing in the vertical in Italy. So very good VK racer. This is good. It's going to be interesting. We're going to see a lot of dichotomy here. It's like this is not a super steep VK course. It's who is the best suited for this type of course, right? It's not so much a hiker's course. You got to be able to run this thing. So yeah, I don't know. It's going to be interesting there. Another name, and one we definitely cannot sleep on is Rachel Tomychak, dude. Rachel has been on been on every U.S. team basically. I see her either getting in or just being just off. So it's going to be interesting. She's a little bit better of an up-down mountain classic athlete, maybe a little bit less of a vertical athlete. So, but I still nonetheless can see her getting on this team just from experience, from fitness, all these things. You can never count out Rachel. So yeah, that's what I got for the women there.
Solid. All right, on to the men.
On to the men.
All right. So I have top 6 here because four of them, right, are going to Worlds. So in 6th, I have one of the best climbers, I think, in Colorado, Tyler McCandless. We saw him a couple weekends ago at Sunapee. He had his climbs were phenomenal, and the downhills kind of got to him. I heard you talk with him after that. He was having some trouble with some stuff in his eyes coming down, eyes watering. Just couldn't figure that out. Well, guess what? He's got a chance to redeem himself here. You don't need to run downhill. You just need to power it up. That's why I think he's going to make Team USA. He's going to be that last slot. 5th, I have Andy Wacker. He's done some pretty incredible things this year on the road. He's done some incredible things on Gold Hill and Boulder. His climbing is next level. I think that the descents is maybe what held him back a couple weekends ago. So I think he's going to redeem himself here, and we're going to see him right up there in 5th. 4th, Christian Allen. He's 4th last year. The dude shows up. Last weekend, 15K, Twisted Fork, destroyed. Like it was it was a pounding. Like he just went out there and did his thing, and I expect him to come here. He's a guy that can just empty the tank like no one else. And I know he's was dealing with some injury and whatnot, but I know he was training with some of the best marathoners in the world prior to that, and his leg speed is probably as good as it's ever been. Even though he was injured, like you're still gonna take in all of that. That doesn't just disappear. And then third, legend Joe Gray. Really wanted to put him in first, but I just think that this is the most competitive, one of the most competitive races we've ever seen. And it's hard for me to put him above some of the people that I'm going to mention here. But I can't wait to see him be sporting a USA kit in his 40s. It's going to be so cool. So great for the sport. He's a legend. Yeah. And then second, won last year, Patrick Kipngeno. I don't think he's going to win this year. I think, and the reason I say that is because Killian's here. As much as I want to pick Patrick to win, I think that Killian what I have seen him do on Strava lately has just been ridiculous. I think he's ready for any type of weather. If it's hot, if it's cold, if it's windy, if it's whatever it is, Killian is just he's Killian, man, and he doesn't lose. And I think that this would be incredible for him to double back, win Western. That is a statement. He can retire. He can do whatever he wants after that, and he is first ballot Hall of Famer. No, but no, it's going to be really fun seeing people that are older in the sport, Joe and Killian, and go after these young guys like Patrick. Patrick's still very young. Yeah, it's just, and Christian Allen, it's just, and then Andy Wacker and Tyler. It's actually a lot of these older athletes that I actually noticed that I picked, but this type of race, just VKs in a sense, I think that's something you can do so much later in your career. I mean, for these people that are getting into ultras and stuff, like, throw yourself in an Ascent or a VK once in a while to test out your fitness, because it's not hard on your body. It shows kind of where you're at in your fitness. Yeah, I think it's great. And I love that they're coming here I love that Killian's coming here before Western. It's similar to what Jim did. He couldn't get it done last year, but I think Killian can get it done this year.
All right. I like it. And I love all this. All these takes are possible, dude. It's funny how, like, I don't know. I'm not a Killian hater, but I'm also a skeptic. I don't know. I just am who I am. Sure. I'm dude, I'm a Joe guy, man. It is what it is. All right.
Yep.
All right. Let me get into it. All right. So I'm going down all the way down to 8th. I have to go down to 8th to find my 4th American.
No way.
Oh yeah, dude. I just, there's so much European talent in this, and like they spank our ass, dude, when it comes to these vertical races. All right. So in 8th, I'm going to go David Sinclair. David did race a very close race to Joe on Saturday at Mount Washington. Like, he was like, I don't know, might have been like 10 or 15 seconds off of Joe and Alex Ricard. So Sinclair's fit, man, and the only thing he could do right now is run uphill. So this is do or die for him. He'll probably, like, just off a resume alone, he's probably the easiest person to pick from a resume spot for like the marathon distance. But nonetheless, like, I'm sure the dude is a voracious competitor, wants to earn himself a spot, or is at least going to try to. So I'm going to go 8th place with David Sinclair. In 7th place, I'm going to go Slim Reaper, Mr. Christian Allen. I think we haven't seen much out of Christian because he's been coming back from injury, dude. And I think he's slowly but surely, getting better and better. I mean, he went and won the Twisted Fork 15K on Saturday and beat Devin Pancake, who's no joke. Like, beat some dudes. So, in my opinion, like, I think Christian's coming back and might be peaking at the right time. I see him in 7th. He's a very good VK athlete. He was him and Miko were right behind Jim last year. And It was pretty impressive to see. It's crazy to think that, like, Jim beat that man, because I think of Jim as like a dinosaur at this point. But shout out to Jim. But, like, no offense to Jim, but it's just crazy to see, like, where Christian, where he's at and where he's going. So I see Christian getting 7th. And the only reason I have him a little bit lower down there is just because of, like, the comeback from injury, from that stress reaction he had in his leg. Yep. In 6th place, I'm going to go Cam Smith. After Cam got himself on Team USA for the up down, I texted him and he's like, "This is what we do, baby." And I was like, "Oh my God, Cam Smith Cam's, dude, we went the nicest, like kindest human I've ever met in my life. Like, I'm such a fan of Cam's. It's interesting. This particular course doesn't suit Cam as well, but we didn't get the best version of Cam on this course. Like last year, you got to remember Cam was coming back from injury. That's why, like, if you look at his stats on this particular course last year, like Cam's always like he's delivered some of the most amazing performances in the Broken Arrow VK. Like, think back to when we first learned about Eli, right? Him and Cam back and forth racing each other on the live stream. We were all watching it. Like, it was like one of the most amazing like things in our sport we've ever seen. Like, Cam would make a move and then Eli would cover, and then finally Cam got away in the last, like, I don't know how many seconds. Dude, that was the best race I have ever seen in my life, like, when you think about it. So, yeah, I get so excited thinking about it, and I just know Cam. You know, I talked to him. He said he's locked in. This one really matters for him. And the reason is because, yes, he's stoked that he made the up-down team. And he said if he didn't give himself a chance, and if something happened to Broken Arrow, like an injury or a sickness, he would never forgive himself, right? So he locked himself in a spot, you know, going for the up-down or the Mountain Classic, got himself in there. But he really thinks that where his true opportunity to shine is going to be, and these are his words, is going to be in the vertical when it comes to Ken Frank. So, dude, I think we're going to get a Cam that's ready to rock and roll. So, super excited for that. 5th place, I'm going to go Killian Jornet. I'm putting him back a little bit. And the only reason I'm going to do that, I think Killian's fit. I just wonder how bad he wants to win this race and how much it matters to him. Like, he's going to be doing a bunch of media obligations before. Are everybody going to follow him around with the camera? Does he care? Is he just there to like have a good time? Like, I wonder why he even signed up for this race.
That's a good question.
I think it was a power move against Jim because he was pissed that Jim whooped his ass at, I'm just going to say this, Jim did whip his ass at Chianti. I don't know. I still am a fan of Killian, but, you know, it is what it is. I'm going to call it like it is. Okay, so I have 5th place in Killian. I think Killian is one of the fittest in the field, no doubt. I just think that, how bad does he want it? Where's the fitness at? Where are things at right now? Are you more focused on Western states? Do you care? Are you even going to show up? We don't really know. So yeah, in 4th place, I'm going to go Lucas Earl, A6 athlete, ETC champion of 2024. Also last year in 2024, second in the up down. He's like the German Dan Kurtz. Amazing downhill runner. Sorry, I don't know. I got jokes today, dude. Second in the up down, and then third in the Europeans. Third European for the uphill championship. So very legit, very solid. Can race at altitude. Ran at Ole Miss. Like ran in a for Ole Miss.
That's why he's here then. I was wondering. I was like, we don't have a ton of people from Europe coming over here. So that must be why. He must have family, friends here. Yeah.
Something. Yeah, it's going to be cool to see him mix it up. I just think
So cool.
the Euros are so solid.
Yeah.
In 3rd place, I'm going to go Henry Amand, the Italian. Last year won the the Folie La Folie VK. Has historically gotten 3rd place at this race. Has been here before. Both competed at the VK and in the 23K. That's correct. Yep. So gotten 3rd place. I mean, he could very well spank everybody and go win the race. I would not be surprised. He's a VK specialist now.
Really?
So very much so focuses on the VKs. So this is something, the reason he's here is for the WRMA like VK World Cup. So he's here for points for that. So don't be surprised. And then obviously it's always a boost to go race the 23K for the Golden Trail, points. But don't be surprised to see him on the podium. I think he's going to do extremely well. In 2nd place, I'm going to go the GOAT, Mr. Joseph Gray. I'm going to throw him up there. I think that Joe just has a ton of experience. He's super fit. Obviously, he's going to be peaking for a race like this. It's a rare sighting of the GOAT. Like we don't normally get him at Broken Arrow unless there's a few things that stars have to align, and we got him there this year, which is going to be very cool. Obviously, for where Joe's at in his career, it's always a blessing and amazing to see him go like out and compete at a race like this. So yeah, I have him easily 2nd place. I think he's going to get one over. Dude, Killian's been beaten this year. So I think he gets one over on Killian. Jim broke the curse. Joe, well, I don't know if you know this, like Joe and Killian like go way back, dude. They've had some battles at series and all. In fact, I can't remember what year it was. Joe almost beat Killian at series and all. I can't remember if he tripped and hurt his leg or fell or something like that, and Killian passed him late in the race. So they've had some historical battles. I don't know how much they like each other, but I will say one thing. I think that Joe is a more vertical specialist. Even and you got to remember, Killian lives at sea level, and Joe Gray doesn't live at sea level. Joe's been up training. Joe's been putting in the work. Not that Killian's not. I just think there's a lot of specificity. Like Killian likes to say, if you want to win a race, you have to train specific for it. I think Joe's been training very specific for it. I think Joe's up there. And I think the only man that's going to beat him on the day is Patrick. I think Patrick, reigning world champion, hasn't shown any cracks in his game, if not only gotten better, as we've seen, when it comes to the vertical stuff as well as, the Golden Trail Series stuff. He won it last year. He made Jim look silly. I think he beat Jim like 2 minutes last year. Yeah, that's stupid, dude. He's so good. I've stood on the start line before with him. I was astonished. The man runs like a gazelle. It's amazing. So, yeah, Patrick Kipngeno, I think first place takes the dub.
This is Patrick's year, though, for sure. Like, I did have him in second, but I mean, this is his year. He's going to win Golden Trail. I said that in past pods before. He's getting better.
Yeah,
he's peaking.
He's amazing, and I probably will eat my words with Killian, but hey, we'll see.
And then a few people
notables.
I just wanted to highlight as well. That we didn't mention. Remy LaRue, 6th last year. Philemon, he was 7th last year. Ryan Becker, 8th last year. I mean, we're getting all these guys returning. It's so fun. Grant Colligan out of Golden, he's trail team as well. He's 15th last year. Joe DeMoore, 17th. Kieran Ney, another Colorado guy, Sunshine. 22nd last year. Casey Campbell, he just took 10th at Sunapee. Really great up-and-comer. Noah Williams, he's won Kendall Mountain. He's good at this vertical stuff too. Josh Everly, fun to see him there. Chris Myers, fun to see another ultra guy kind of stepping in here, a little pre-states race. And then 2 young guys too that I wanted to highlight. Ali Papalon, who's used to train out of Boulder, then Springs, then Boulder, and now I think he's out in like Tahoe area. So he's out in this area. He's the future of the sport, 100%. I mean, the dude's 20 years old. He's been here before. He's been like top 20, I want to say, a lot of times, top 15. And then another one I want to highlight, 21-year-old Benjamin Townsend. He's he's another one, future of the sport. Super fun to see them throwing it out there with these big guys that are just hopefully they'll learn something when they go there and can take it in the future, because like I said, they're the future. So fun to see them.
I agree. 2 things I don't know if I added. Did you mention Philemon at all?
Philemon, yeah. Yep. 7th last year. Yep.
Missed that.
Now Philemon, so one thing about Philemon is like he's good at the uphill, but I mean he's very good on downhill. Like he almost beat Killian last year at Sears and all. I don't think that this is his specialty, but we could very well see him up there. I mean, if he trains with Patrick so much, if he just hangs on to him as long as he possibly can, who knows? But maybe that last downhill bit, some people just break and some can just send it down. Because let me tell you, when I did Pepe's at GoPro a couple weekends ago, what it takes to flip your turnover from going uphill to downhill, it's a skill, and it's something I think you need to practice. Like, you are going in slow motion when you're cresting that, and that's going to be a time where people are going to make passes. I guarantee we see moves. So I hope who's ever listening, I hope somebody at Broken Arrow put a camera in that spot, because we need to see it, because there are going to be moves that are going to be made 100%.
For sure. Yeah, I mean, dude, I'm so happy that we're going to have finally live stream.
Shout out to Mountain Outpost. Oh,
yeah, glad to make that happen. All right. So one thing I did not say was my Team USA, the picks that I had, because I was kind of all over the place with a lot of the Euros. Joe Gray, David Sinclair, Cam Smith, and Mr. Christian Allen. I think those are our 4 men we're going to be sending.
Awesome.
And you know what, dude? And I got to say, for Christian, like, this is, I don't want to say just do or die, but like, this is your opportunity to get on Team USA, because I know he just kind of coming back from it at Sunapee. The stars just didn't align. This is the opportunity to do it if you're going to do it. So
100%.
Yeah. All right. Sweet. All right. I'm going to do the break, and we'll go to the Broken Arrow 23K. What's up, guys? It's summer, and you know what that means. You're going to need a new pack, hydration solution, bottle, belt, you name it. guess what? Ultimate Direction's got you covered. Guys, I don't know if you've been perusing on the Ultimate Direction site lately, but we've got 2 new vests that have just dropped. That's going to be the Ultra Vest 12 liter and the Race Vest 6 liter in 2 beautiful colorways. And you know what? Guess what? We also dropped a quiver. Finally, the quiver is here. The quiver is there. Get it on the website right now. Use code SteepStuffPod for 25% off. All of these things are already extremely affordably priced. I think Ultimate Direction does an amazing job at their pricing to make it affordable for athletes of all economic abilities. And guess what? You're going to get yourself an additional 25% off by using code SteepStuffPod. Like I said, it's summer. It's Broken Arrow week. It's crazy. The vibes are high. The stoke is high. You're going to need a new vest. You're going to need a hydration solution. Like I said, go to Ultimate Direction. They've got you covered. 25% off with the code SteepStuffPod, and you are all set out the door. So, guys, enjoy your week. It's Broken Arrow week. Go crazy, go wild. Guess what? Next week is TrailCon, and then we are in Western states. This is the best few weeks of our sport. So, it's wild. Woo!